Steph with Stefsonabudget. Welcome back for another video. Today I'm gonna do probably a very quick Transfer Tuesday. I am trying to get this up today on Tuesday for you. We'll see if I'm able to film and edit and get it posted before midnight here. It is already Tuesday night, pretty late, so I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see how well I do. I was hoping to do this morning before work, but then I had I got stuck with a early meeting invite in the office, so my whole day was just out of the norm, but that's okay. I'm gonna try to squeak it in. So we just started these last week, totally new to the channel. I really don't know what I'm doing, if I'm being honest, but I really enjoyed filming the first one. I feel like this is going to really help me keep on target and on track with our financial goals, both for savings and for debt payoff. I'm hoping if I can see on a more of a weekly basis and just be more consistent at looking at my debt than I was the second half of last year, that maybe I'll, see the progress down to a smaller or bigger picture. I can see the impact week to week, and maybe that'll kind of keep motivation high. We'll see. You guys know I always say motivation comes and goes. It's really all about consistency. So I'm going to try to be consistent whether we have transfers or not. This week I had a good amount of transfers because last Friday was payday, and you're probably going, Stephanie, where's your budget with me? You should hopefully see that tomorrow. So we're a little out of order, but nonetheless, we do have a budget and we're working off of it. So that's great. So I'm going to start on this guy, I think is my plan. And we're just going to kind of look through what we transferred, and then we'll kind of update the trackers. So for now, I'm going to skip City 1 and City 2 since those include the current debts. And I do have trackers, and we'll go through those payments. But I do want to review, we also made our minimum payment this week on our Wells Fargo, so our third debt. And that was for $80. Now this credit card, we don't have a goal to pay it off this year, but I would like to get the balance down to $2,000. So I'm hoping that we can at least do that, if not more. We also, sorry guys, I had a coughing attack and I don't think I'm quite done. So give me a minute. All right guys, sorry about that. My vocal cords were like, nope, we're not doing it. We also made our minimum payment on our Subaru, which was for, I think that one is for $458.31. So we did make that minimum payment as well. We had already made our minimum payment at the beginning of January before I kind of started these Transfer Tuesdays, if you will, to our student loan and our Tacoma. So essentially we have already halfway through the month made the minimum payments for the month on our debt. Now we still have, a lot of January to go. And so I'm hoping we'll have some extra payments on our current debt snowball. So I had originally had a plan to start with City 2, but we've actually paid that off, but it does need to get paid back. And so I'm still considering this a debt because I did pull from savings to avoid any accumulated interest to hit that account. So I'm going to switch to City 1 since I'm having interest, and now for the City 2, I'm just paying my savings back. So the way that I have done that is I've gone ahead and flopped the minimum payments. So our minimum payment used to be $150 on the City 2 and $100 towards the City 1. So what I've done now is I've actually bumped the minimum payment on the City 1 up to the $150, and I am calling the minimum payment on the City 2 the $100 to pay my savings back. So that's how those are going to work. So for this week, what we put towards, also I added a new debt tracker here for the City 1. So our starting balance at the beginning of the month was $1,732.48. And again, I bumped that minimum payment up to $150. Sorry for the noise. I'm going to go ahead and pull this sheet out and kind of turn you just a bit. So on, oh my gosh, what was the date? January, let me look really quick, you guys. I should probably make myself like some sticky notes here on what I need to be tracking and relaying. So this would have been on the 10th. Okay, so on January 10th, for the city one that we flopped to, our starting balance is going to be this $1,732.48. And this week we were able to save, not save, but we sent our minimum payment of $150, as well as we had a debt snowball from our Discover card we paid off in 2024 for $200. So we actually sent $350 towards this debt this week. So I'm not going to add in the ending. Well, actually, I guess I will. So let me grab a calculator. I was going to say, I don't think I'm going to add in the ending balance here because I will have interest that'll hit, but what I'll do is just come in when the interest and I'll add it to the balance. That's typically what I do on these trackers. So we're going to take the starting balance minus the $350 payment, and that's going to bring the current balance or the ending balance down to $1,382.48 on this account. Now, again, we'll have interest that will accumulate when my statement comes because this card does hold interest. And then I'm hoping with some side hustle income like my YouTube pay and Etsy pay, we'll be able to add a little bit more for the month of January to this card as well. Our goal for payoff is April 1st. So I think we're doing pretty good. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to actually exceed that by a lot, but April 1st, you guys, is the timeline that I had set in my goals to have both city cards paid off. So realistically, I'm looking at this balance and the other balance for both of those. So let's go ahead and swap over to the city two. Because this was the initial debt that I was starting on, I'm going to just keep tracking the payback payment so I know where I'm at in paying myself back on this. So for January 10th, I have Duncan trapped in here with me, so I am trying to listen out for him too. So our starting balance on the 10th is going to be the $1,717.73. That's what I need to pay back my savings, and we sent $100 back to savings for that. So we're just going to call that $1,617.73. There won't be any interest. Now, a small part of this card, it's kind of interesting. Part of that balance was at a 0% promotion from a balance transfer, and some of the debt was new debt and had interest. So there is potential that I'll need to pay some interest fees for January prior to the payoff on this one, but we'll just kind of wait and see. So that is what we're looking at for our transfers this week from our paycheck. So a little bit higher because we were getting paid this week, so we were able to send minimum payments and a little extra towards debt. Outside of this, we also saved, which you guys will see in an upcoming video over the next week or so, is we sent an additional $195 towards our debt binder. So eventually when that debt binder is done, it will go towards paying these two accounts. We also, as far as our savings goals, let me just kind of swap over to that. I'm not going to count it because the challenge isn't completed yet, but we did save $64 from our pay date on the 10th to our emergency fund binder. And so, you know, that'll stay in the binder until we complete a challenge, and then we'll deposit it into our high yield to go into our emergency fund. So we're not counting those yet because they're kind of tied up in some savings challenges, but we did also save that money towards some of our both savings and debt goals as well. So that is our Transfer Tuesday for this week. I hope that that made sense, you guys. Again, I really feel like I don't know what I'm doing with these, but I do want to give it a good try. So hopefully you found this video helpful, entertaining. it certainly is helping me to keep track of, you know, those small amounts and what we're able to send. Even if it's $10, it makes me feel really good to be able to throw anything extra at our debt. And it just keeps me focused on the goals that we set for this year. So I'm going to wrap it up here, try to get this edited and posted for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. If you like this one, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button to stick around, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.